Thanks a lot for staying with Times Now. I'm Pratibha. First up, let's get you details of the biggest international story of the day. Incredible footage that has now come in of people cheering the arrival of Speaker Nancy Pelosi's jet in Taiwan earlier. She arrived, people were seen cheering, welcoming her and even taking pictures. The U.S. House of Representatives Speaker arrived late last evening. She said that this shows an unwavering American commitment to the Chinese-claimed self-ruled island, but China has condemned this visit. In fact, China also warned the United States, but Nancy Pelosi visiting Taiwan, she landed yesterday, today also meeting the president and issuing a statement reiterating U.S. relationship with Taiwan. But these are the pictures from yesterday, visuals of people celebrating the fact that she is visiting. This is the highest level U.S. visit in 25 years. Even though China said this was a threat to peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait, there were people who were celebrating Nancy Pelosi's visit. The visit is also likely to strain the relations between U.S. and China further, but amid that incredible footage showing people cheering. Foreign Affairs analyst Sana Hashmi is joining us live. Thank you for joining us. Sana Hashmi, we're seeing visuals of people who are celebrating. This is a very, very big, crucial visit for Taiwan.
It's a very important visit. You are right about it. It's a watershed moment for Taiwan. And in fact, yesterday I felt there was a lot of excitement. A lot of news channels, a lot of people were talking about panic in Taiwan and what is going to happen next. But in Taiwan, there was hardly any panic. In fact, there were supporters who were really welcoming Pelosi. And in fact, you know, that's the beauty of democracy. And on the other side, there were some people who were actually protesting the visit of Pelosi, and that too outside the hotel where she's staying right now. So I think there's a lot of interest and there's a lot of excitement in Taiwan, and we've already seen how she was received at the airport and how she's being treated in Taiwan. So I think this is a very important and landmark visit, and it's really going to change the Taiwan-US relationship as well as US-China relationship.
Okay, you know, this is a very, very important visit, like you mentioned. But do you think that, like you mentioned, it's a landmark event? Yes, but is that going to change the U.S.-Taiwan relations? Because U.S. has kept it very ambiguous. The White House as well saying that we are not going to bow down to the threats coming in from China, but also not saying that we are completely in support of Nancy Pelosi's visit.
No, I don't think there's going to be any major change in U.S. policy. And even if you look at the statement by Nancy Pelosi in the morning, what she said was that we are here. The purpose of our visit is to just to remind some and to inform others that we are not going to abandon Taiwan. And we have a commitment towards Taiwan. Of course, she didn't mention about what kind of commitment the U.S. has, but she mentioned about Taiwan's Relations Act. So if you look at it, there's nothing new. There's nothing new that she has said about U.S. policy to Taiwan. But I think the visit is important to showcase that U.S. really supports Taiwan. So I think from Taiwan's perspective also, this is a very important visit. There is reassurance within the Taiwanese government and the people of Taiwan that the U.S. is going to be there for Taiwan. Of course, the strategic ambiguity is going to be there. There's no indication that it's going to change.
Okay, but there's been a very furious response from China from the time there was speculations that she might visit. They said that they would be responding militarily, saying that they will have to pay the price. These were the kind of strong terms that were used by China. So is there any action that's expected, or do you think it will be taken up only diplomatically as of now?
No, I don't think the situation is going to out of control. Of course, they overreacted, and even we saw Wang Yi's statement yesterday, Ministry of Defense statement as well. So they overreacted. Now they have to do something. Of course, there is no option that they're not going to do anything. We are seeing that they are going to have exercises around Taiwan so that they could showcase that, we could really block Taiwan if there is a case of Taiwan contingency. So, it's not that they're not going to do anything, but we have to see the extent of the response. So what are they going to do? I think, and it has already started, they are weaponizing the trade. They have been weaponizing the trade against Taiwan. And yesterday and even today, we are seeing that how they are banning Taiwan's food manufacturers. So they're actually hitting where it hurts the most. But I feel that it's a wake-up call for a lot of Taiwanese investors who are in China, that they have to really pull out of China now, because now China is punishing local people. They're punishing Taiwanese businesses.
Okay, all right. So, I also want to talk about the timing a bit, because this comes at a very sensitive time, and these are two of the biggest economies we're talking about, China and the United States. So there is a reason why the entire world has also been watching the visit. Let's take a look at the statement that Nancy Pelosi made after meeting the president. This is what she said.
Today, our delegation, of which I'm very proud, came to Taiwan to make unequivocally clear we will not abandon our commitment to Taiwan, and we are proud of our enduring friendship. The story of Taiwan is an inspiration to all freedom-loving people in the United States and around the world. Out of a crucible of challenge, you have forged a flourishing democracy, one of the freest in the world, proudly to be led by a woman president. And Taiwan has been an island of resilience in the world. Indeed, the people of Taiwan have proven to the world that with hope, courage, and determination, it is possible to build a peaceful and prosperous future, even in terms of the challenges you face. And now, more than ever, America's solidarity with Taiwan is crucial, and that is the message we are bringing here today.
So U.S. stands with Taiwan. That's the message coming in, also saying that this is a very crucial time. We have with us, joining us live here, Taiwanese legislator Wang Wenyu as well. I want to ask you, how significantly, from a Taiwan perspective, if you can tell us, do you see this visit of Nancy Pelosi?
I think, of course, we are very support and very appreciate for this visiting, since this is the most important visiting at the highest level during recent years. And I think that also means Taiwan has a good relationship with our friends. And also, I appreciate that America, the United States, didn't afraid of the China threaten and keep their schedule and their plan to visit Taiwan. I think that means we should come to more the normalize the situation and keep communicating and exchange our experience and a lot of business possibility with all other countries. So I think it's meaningful for us that Pelosi coming to visit Taiwan.
China has also responded. You've seen the kind of statements that China has given out. In fact, the questions have been who would pay the ultimate price, and China has put already some restrictions on trade with Taiwan. It has also said that this visit is a violation of the Chinese sovereignty. How do you respond to that?
I think, as you might know, that Taiwan is an independent state, even though some people argue about the state, what is the meaning of the state. But undoubtedly that Taiwan is an independent entity. So Taiwan is Taiwan. We are not part of the PRC China. So China is no right to decide for Taiwan whether and how Taiwan interact with our friends. I think based on this belief, that's why the no matter Taiwan or the state keep our exchange such as this time's visiting. So I think even now we still facing the threats from China, but we try to get used to it. But we need to be prepared for even the fighting is coming out or what is more strength or more higher strengthens from China. So I think Taiwan is still pay attention to this kind of threat, but we need to be prepared. But we will not doing any change or any difference based on this kind of threat, because what we need to do is still fight for our freedom and democracy, and also keep the same situation of Taiwan's situation, and we need to be more cooperate with the alliance of democracy and freedom.
No, that's right, and that's one of the reasons why the entire world has been watching, because like I was discussing with Sana Hashmi as well, the fact that this comes at such a time, the world is still bouncing back from COVID, the challenges of COVID. Apart from that, Russia's invasion of Ukraine, these are two of the biggest economies we're talking about, which is why if tensions were to rise, it's not just these two countries who will be affected, but countries around the world that are going to be affected, isn't it, Sana?
No, I think it's a very crucial time, and specifically you talked about COVID, but also from China's domestic perspective as well. August 1st was the 95th anniversary of the PLA, so they had to show the might of the PLA, and now we are waiting for the 20th Party Congress later this year, where she might, I'm pretty sure that he will secure the third term as well. So domestically, he has to prove that China is not weak, and Taiwan is a very, very sensitive issue for China. So I think in that context, China is overreacting right now. But I think Taiwan already knew the risk of it, but Taiwan can't just ignore the fact that China has been bullying Taiwan. So they have to react. So I think Taiwan is also very, very prepared for the response, and we have to wait and watch how China is going to react once Pelosi leaves. But I think Taiwan already knew about that, and Taiwan is prepared and ready to and willing to react and willing to safeguard its sovereignty.
Okay, but talking about how the response would be, the dust around this visit has not settled yet. Even now discussions are going on around it. The question being, who do you think will end up paying the bigger price? Because China will not be able to directly take on the United States. Yes, China will not be able to take on the United States. For Taiwan as well, there is a big challenge there. So is that, for the kind of trade that has been put in place right now, would Taiwan end up paying the bigger price of this visit?
No, I think there's a blessing in disguise, because Tsai Ing-wen administration has been trying to tell the businesses, Taiwanese businesses, to pull out of China, because now what we are seeing is they're actually punishing the local people. So I feel that it's a wake-up call for a lot of Taiwanese businesses who were unwilling to pull out of China, that it's time to go and diversify their investment as well. And Southeast Asian countries and India are good alternatives for them. So I see it as a blessing in disguise, and it's a wake-up call to them. And in fact, Tsai Ing-wen government has been incentivizing Taiwanese businesses who are operating in China to go and invest in other countries.
Okay, all right. These are some of the concerns that have been raised already on what would happen next. And as we discuss it, I also want to ask Ms. Wang Wan on the situation there and the fact that from now, as you mentioned, this is a big event, a landmark moment. So how do you see the US-Taiwan relations from here on? Is there going to be a massive change, or it's just going to be strengthened in an organic way as it has been all these years?
Yes, I think this historical visit with the normalized future communication between U.S. government officials and the Taiwan officials, that is, we break some unwritten rules of the communication. So we also hope that other countries that believe in democracy, freedom, and human rights will also normalize their visit to Taiwan. I think in recent years, no matter because of the pandemic or due to the China's threats, we really minimize the visiting or the normalization of our exchange from Taiwan to other countries. But from this time, I think most of us and most of countries believe we should be more clear and stand together. So I think it will be encouraged to other countries that also can start their visiting and exchange with Taiwan.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for joining us, Ms. Mangwan, you as well as Sana Hashmi with your expertise on the subject. A lot expected. We're also keeping a close eye on what's going to happen next. For now, we're slipping into a short break here. We'll be right back.